So, as you have realized that we have had the privilege of a lot of alumni and a lot of very trained, very specialist people from the Institute of Packaging to work for us at Dr. Reddys. Our Vice President himself is one of them. So, I actually asked some people to put together some very knowledgeable stuff on packaging so that A, I can get educated, and B, I thought I will talk. But after I heard Dr. Shah, I realized that it will be an unnecessary repetition. So what I will do is, I have actually done a little bit of wrapping up myself, a small part of packaging, by putting this together this morning, one slide on it, which is my own. So all others are packaged for me by others. So I will quickly go through them, but I'll actually talk a lot from whatever little thoughts I had, which I wanted to share today. I'm particularly touched by the persistence and the humility with which Mr. Dikshit approached me and approached the whole event. And I will tell you that instead of having, and I can know that he could be disappointed, but I'm saying that half the hall full with interested people is better than a hall full of people with disinterest. So I'm assuming those who have managed to come here have some interest. So I'm assuming we will be able to talk about how golden is the color of this gold called packaging. So as I promised, I will not spend time on what is packaging, but my people tell me it has 5 P's in it. I like the one which is called profit. So assuming that packaging will be very profitable, all other things will follow. For individuals to do anything, they need to be profitable. For a science to find its place in economics and business, it has to be profitable. So after all your science is over and technology over, please believe in the art of making profits. It will actually help you a lot in positioning packaging in the right way. I'm glad I have some numbers, but those numbers are outdated. I believe we are more towards 800 now. And so clearly we have a trending industry, like it trends in Twitter. You have a trending industry in packaging, and I believe it's a very useful one to follow. In pharma, where first time I got very conscious of how ignorant I was about packaging and how powerful can be the challenges of packaging in industry. I never knew, like we saw, there's a nice book came, very wonderfully packed. All that I was trained to learn is somehow to gradually open it so that I can store it for the next packaging. Now, however, we realize that after some time, people are just tearing it open. There are 2 instances about packaging that turned completely my knowledge and attention fully. One of them I'll share today, some will spare the other one. This is when I joined Dr. Reddys, and I was in a management meeting, and they were discussing that we have had a challenge in the US for one of our products in a very interesting way. And the challenge is that the package in which the medicine was presented, according to regulation and law, had to achieve 2 purposes at the same time. And I didn't know how anybody on earth can do it, but I am learning that it is possible to do. Purpose 1, it should be senior citizen friendly, which means an elderly person should be able to open that package very easily. At the same time, it should be child resistant, which means a child should not be able to open that package easily. And the fact that we have not been able to address it to the satisfaction of a regulator came to my knowledge as saying, oh my God, this packaging, we all think maths has a problem and various other subjects have a lot of problems to solve. IT people believe they are God's gift to mankind. Now here is a situation where, imagine how do you develop something, at least to my common mind, I didn't know how can I develop something which would be at the same time senior citizen friendly and child resistant. That drove my attention to packaging, and in the pharma industry it's extremely business critical. It actually ensures the safety and the efficacy of the drugs that we produce and give it to the end users. We just cannot take any chances with packaging. So it is as important as any other part of our business in our industry. And so that has actually struck me a lot. Therefore, at Dr. Reddy's, we have a very big packaging team and a whole science around it. We invest in year after year hiring from institutes like you. We train people. We also give them advanced ideas around design thinking. And we are seeing that the packaging department is a business critical, integral part of the management of our company. And so those who have doubts about where will their careers go, be assured that if you know your job well, you would be exactly at the same center of business as any other professional is aspiring to be. So we hire, many of the people here perhaps must be thinking, so this is all fine for the big old fogies. What happens to us? It's a fact that those of you who are students here, those who even consider some time about a job in packaging, the first job you will get is, in our parlance, is called an entry-level role, where you come, get training for some time. And if you want to know what happens there, I'll tell you soon what does not happen when my slide comes. But what happens here is about the fact that about 70% of your time will actually train you in understanding the reference drug, will understanding very advanced issues of quality by design and creating your target product profile. And then 20% of time will go in understanding the SOPs or standard operating practices, and about 10% in technical training. This is what you will actually go through, which means there is actually learning, expertise, science, and something that prepares you strongly with a foundation for the future. It's not something that you will sail through commonsensically, but something that you will learn as a skill and an ability that will last you for a long time. And that is the foundation on which this job is being built. And I'm very happy that my colleagues have told me that all this really happens to entry-level people. They're not just holidaying there. And that is a great thing. And so this being the scene, the industry seems to have a lot of challenges in getting the right people. Usually people come into this as a second thought after they have not managed to get something else, which was their first thought. And therefore, we see very little passion. But if you are a top quartile performer, and you believe that expertise will decide the future, which the point I want to make today is that the future will belong to not generalists, because we have too many of them. A lot of people are generalists. Everybody wants to be the top manager, ordering around people sitting in the corner room. What we need is experts, and here is a science or a profession which predicts the ability to build expertise. And if that happens, and you move away from just being a generalist, by being an expert in packaging, in the world can trust you that I will pack this milk that it will go to moon without getting spoiled, I think then you are there, you have arrived. And India has that opportunity. We are using our brains in many ways. And one of the ways we could use it is to be the center and the hub of packaging excellence in the world, by trying to tell us that even if we are a tropical country, we would not let our, first of all, food and other products go spoiled, and we will supply it to the world in the most reliable packaging ways. And that's the challenge the industry has. That is the opportunity the industry has.